Good morning all. Welcome back. In today's session we are going to discuss about a topic on the tokens in C programming language. So we will go with the definition of the token in C programming language, and we will see various types of tokens that we have in the C programming language. Coming to the definition part of the token in C, it is nothing but the smallest part of the program. The smallest part or unit of a C program is called as the token. That means you cannot divide further, and it does not allow us to divide it into further parts. That is the smallest part you can take it from a C program. So we have different types of tokens that are supported in the C programming language. Let us see what those are. So as I told that the C program consists of various tokens, and a token is either a keyword. So these are the various types of tokens we have in C programming language. It can be a keyword, or it can be an identifier, or it can be a constant, or string literal, or a symbol. Symbol means it can be an operator, or it can be some white spaces also. Coming to the keywords concept, you can observe carefully that this is a keyword. That means it is also called as the reserved words. By looking at this word, you can clearly understand that these words are having some reserved meaning which is described earlier itself. So they have some predefined meaning, and the meaning of that word cannot be changed by the programmer. Those types of words are called as reserved words, or else we can also call them as keywords. In the previous session, while we are discussing the benefits of the C programming language, we told as the first point that C is a very small program which supports only 32 keywords. We will see what these keywords are in the next coming slides, but you just remember that C supports only 32 keywords. Examples of the keywords are int. This keyword is used to declare an integer variable. I will tell you what this declaration is, and what is the benefit of declaration, and what is that variable, what is the purpose of that variable. All these things we will discuss in the coming sessions, but you just remember that int is a keyword which is used to declare an integer variable. Similarly, float, it is also a keyword which is used to declare a floating point variable. If, it is a keyword which is used to specify a condition. Else, for, while, like that we have so many things that are C programming supports around 32 keywords. So only important points you should remember here is keywords are otherwise called as the reserved words. They have the predefined meaning, and that meaning cannot be changed by the programmer. It does not allow. And examples are int, float, char, double, if, else, for, while, struct, union, enum. Like that we have so many keywords, and C programming supports 32 keywords here. That's all about the keywords. And the next token what we can discuss under this C programming language is the identifiers. By this term you can simply identify, or you can simply understand that it is used to identify something. That is the reason why it is called as the identifier. For example, as a person you are being identified by your name. If you join a college, you will be given a registration number, and you will be identified by that registration number also. Similarly, every person in the country is having the Aadhaar number. It is unique throughout the world, throughout the country also. And that Aadhaar number can be called as the identifier for that particular person. The simple concept is, it is something that you are going to identify the entity. That is used to identify it uniquely, that is called as identifier. So in C programming language, you have so many things, like for example, you can declare a function, you can declare a structure, union, you can declare a pointer, you can declare an array. Like this, there are so many things or concepts that are supported by the C programming language, and everything should be identified. An array should be identified. Similarly, a function should be identified. A structure should be identified. For this purpose, you have to give a name for each and every concept inside the C programming language. And that name that you give to functions or arrays or structures or unions, pointers, those names are called as the identifiers. The analogy can be like this: the identifier is nothing but the name of a function, name of an array, like that. And the giving names, that means the identifiers should follow some rules. Whenever the programmer is given a task to write, and when he starts programming, he should follow the rules. Similarly, the identifiers, naming of a function, naming of an array, should have or should follow some rules and regulations. Those rules are: the identifier is nothing but a sequence of letters and digits. So you can have either the letters, which are nothing but the alphabets, or you can have the digits also. Digits starts from 0 to 9. And letters means, here you have to understand two important concepts. Letters are classified into two categories. One is the uppercase letters. Next one is the lowercase letters. Uppercase letters are nothing but capital A to capital Z, and the lowercase letters are from small a to small z. So if you want to name a function, or if you want to give an identifier, that identifier may consist of the uppercase letters or lowercase letters or digits, or a combination of anything is possible. That is the first rule. So the first rule specifies what content should be there inside the identifier. And the second rule says that even though you have the freedom to give the identifier a combination of letters and digits, there is a restriction that the identifier should always start with the letter only. You cannot start an identifier with a digit. You can start it with the capital A or capital A to capital Z, or the lowercase letter small a to small z. Anything is okay, but it should always start with the letters only. You never start with an identifier with digits. And the third rule: no special characters are allowed. So the identifiers accept only the uppercase letters, lowercase letters, or the digits. No special characters, such as you cannot include a dollar in between the identifier, or you cannot include a cap symbol, you cannot include a star symbol. These are all not allowed. Plus symbol, these symbols, these are special characters which are not accepted in the as a part of an identifier. But there is a special character that is always helpful in giving the identifiers, that is the underscore. It is not minus. Of course, this is present at the minus symbol only, but you have to press the shift and then you have to press minus. Then it will be converted to an underscore. You can see here, this one. If it is minus, it will be like this. It will be kept in the middle, but it is kept downwards, right? So this is called as an underscore. The only special characters that is allowed for the identifiers in the C programming language is underscore only. And one more important point you have to remember with this underscore is, you can start an identifier with the underscore also, like this. You can see underscore get char, it is valid. Why? Because it consists of the characters plus the allowed special character, which is underscore, and it starts with the underscore. Therefore, this is a valid identifier. Next, after this, another rule that you should follow for the identifier is identifiers are case sensitive. This is very important. The C programming language is case sensitive. What do you mean by case sensitivity? Means it is sensitive to case. What is this case? Case is nothing but the uppercase or lowercase. So, if I define that it is sensitive to case, by this I mean that the uppercase letters and the lowercase letters are treated differently. For example, CSE, assume that this ABC, let us take this. This is one identifier which is valid. Why? Because it is a combination of letters. And if you write the same thing as uppercase A followed by BC, this is also valid. Why? Because and this ABC is different from this ABC. Why? Because the C programming language is case sensitive. Therefore, you have different cases here. It is uppercase and this is lowercase. Therefore, it is going to treat these two variables differently. That is called as the case sensitivity. And the last rule is you cannot use the keywords for the identifier. As I told that the keywords are having some reserved meaning and that meaning cannot be changed by the programmer, and another rule is those keywords cannot be used as the identifiers. For example, you cannot make use of the float as an identifier, or you cannot make use of while as an identifier. You cannot name a particular array as while. You cannot name a function as while. Why? Because they are reserved. So, you cannot allow the keywords to be given as the identifiers. And the last rule is it does not allow white spaces. It does not allow white spaces. White spaces in the sense the blank space which is given by space bar, or tab space, or a new line, like that, these types of spaces are not allowed. These are the various rules you have to follow for identifiers in C programming language. So, the first rule is it can consist of letters plus digits, and the second rule is it should start with letter only. Third one is no special characters are allowed except underscore, and you can start the identifier with the underscore also. The identifiers are case sensitive, that means they treat the uppercase and lowercase letter in a different fashion. You cannot allow the keywords, or you cannot give the keywords as the identifiers, and you cannot allow the white spaces to be a part of the identifier. These are the rules you should follow, and let us have some examples. This one root, ROOT. This is a valid identifier. Why? Because it follows, it satisfies all the rules. This is a combination of characters, uppercase and lowercase characters, and it is starting with a character, okay, and there are no special symbols allowed inside this one, and there are no keywords, and there are no white spaces. Therefore, it satisfies all the rules, therefore it is a valid. Similarly, underscore get char, it is a combination of characters. It allows a special character which is underscore, and you can start the name of the identifier with the underscore also. Therefore, it satisfies all the things, satisfied. Underscore sin, this is also valid. X1, it is a combination of character and digits. It is allowed, and it is starting with x. If it starts with 1x, this is not valid. Why? Because it should not start with a digit. Similarly, x2 is valid, x3 is valid, underscore 1, this is also valid. See here that this is here, that this is here, that this is here, that this is here, that this is 324. It is a combination of digits, it is okay, but the second rule is that it should always start with a character. This is starting with a digit, which is invalid. And the second example is short. Of course, it appears as if it is completely valid. Why? Because it is a combination of characters, but this is a keyword in C. The keyword allow the keywords to be kept as the identifier, and in this you should not allow the special characters. That rule is violated. Dollar is a special character. And MySpace name, this is the violating the last rule, which says that identifiers are not given white spaces, are not allowed with white spaces. Here you have white space here, therefore this is also invalid. These are all the rules and examples identifiers. And the next token what we are going to discuss is the constants. By this name you can understand that it is a constant. That means you are going to make that value constant throughout the program. When the user tries to change that value of a constant, it will give an error. That is the meaning of constant. Constant, it is constant throughout the program. It has the same value throughout the program. That is the meaning of constants. So we have different types of constants, like integer constant, and the second one is floating constant. Next one is character constant, and the last one is the string constant. So numerical constants, again these numerical constants are divided into, as I told, that integer constants and float constants. Float point constants are nothing but decimal constants. You have a decimal value, a decimal point like this. Integer means they doesn't have the decimal value. They have the numeric values, but they doesn't have the decimals. Those type of values we call them as integers, whereas if the number is having the decimal point, we call them as float. So if you take 12,253, this is a constant and it is an integer constant. This one, this comes under this one. Similarly, we have long integers. These long, unsigned, signed, short, all these things are called as qualifiers. We will discuss this in the next coming sessions. No worries. These are called as qualifiers. So long integer is given by this L. It is succeeded with uppercase L or smaller case L. Similarly, unsigned integer is succeeded with uppercase U or the lowercase u. And unsigned long means UL, unsigned long. Like that you can define any number of integer constants, and the keyword that is used to define the constants or to declare the constant. And you can also declare the decimal point constants, which are called as the floating constants. Directly, you can give it directly like this: 12.34 F. F stands for float. Nothing more than that. Or you can express these decimal points with the you can observe here that 1.234 E and 1. This is a notation, exponentiation notation for representing the floating point values. Right. And coming to the character constants and string constants, this is very important. A character constant is defined as a single character that is enclosed within single quotation. Within single quotation, you define any symbol. For example, I define A. This A is treated as a character constant. Let us take another example. If I define 9 like this, here 9 is an integer value, but when you enclose it inside the single quotations, it is treated as the constant only. Similarly, you take plus, and if you enclose this plus within these single quotations, it is called as the character constant. So the single characters enclosed within single quotations are called as character constants. Their value cannot be changed during program execution. And what about the string constants? A string is nothing but a collection of characters. So if you enclose a collection of characters within the double quotations like this, that is called as the string constant. For example, let me take ABC. This is a collection of characters A, B and C, and if it is enclosed within double quotations, this is treated as the string constant. For example, you take this one, Charu. It's a combination of CHARU, 5 characters are there, and this entire thing, if it is enclosed within double quotations, it is treated as the string constant. And you can observe here this one also, a single character enclosed within double quotations. You should be very careful here. If a single character is enclosed within single quotations, you can call it as the character constant. But a single quotation enclosed within double quotations is called as the string constant. Similarly, here also if you observe this one, 3 by 9, 3 is one character, division is another character and 9 is another symbol. So if you combine these 3 and put it inside this double quotation, it is called as a string constant. Similarly, x is equal to 5. X is one thing, second one, third symbol, and you enclose it within double quotations. This is a string constant. That's all about the constants we have. The important point you should understand here is a constant is something which the value does not change during the program execution. The program is not allowed to change the value of constants. We have 4 different constants: integer, float, character, string. So we have seen some examples also. And coming back to our discussion again, tokens. So the fourth part of these tokens is the string literals. It is nothing but the string constants which we have discussed now. So a sequence of characters enclosed in double quotes as this one is called as a string literal or a string constant. For example, if you take 13, in general this is 13 is treated as an integer value, but if you enclose it within double quotations, it is treated as a string constant. And you can observe here, a single character A enclosed within single quotations and a single character enclosed within double quotations. This is character constant and this is string constant. These are also treated as tokens. You cannot further divide them into smaller parts. That is called the token. And the next token what we have is the operators. Operators is a very big topic which we will be discussing in the coming sessions. But what is an operator means? It is nothing but a symbol. It is just a symbol which is used to perform different operations. We have different operators like arithmetic operators, logical, relational, bitwise, assignment operators, increment and decrement operators. Like that we have different types of operators that are supported in the C programming language. But right now you just remember that an operator is nothing but a symbol. For example, you take this plus. This is nothing but a symbol which is used to perform the addition operation. Minus, this is also a symbol which is used to perform the subtraction operation. Like this you can take any number of symbols and those have the predefined meaning and that is used to perform that particular operation. And the last token, last topic under this token is the white spaces. I told you about these white spaces. White spaces are nothing but the spaces which you can give it in the program by using the space bar, and you can have the new lines which is represented by \n. So backslash n represents the new line character, and tabs, it is given by backslash t. Backslash t stands for tab. And this is important, comments. All these things are called as the white spaces. Let us have a small discussion on what a comment is. So you will be hearing this particular term in your daily life also, comment. In programming, the comments play a vital role. They give some extra information about the program. Commenting the program is very, very important. Commenting means nothing but you give some instruction. For example, if I declare a variable int a like this, beside this instruction I write a comment like declaration of a variable. For example, let me write another statement, sum is equal to a star b like this, and after this I write a comment saying that calculation of sum. So these particular statements, they give some extra information related to the instructions. These are very much useful for the programmer. Why? Because they give the readability to the program. They give the readability. The main advantage of commenting is readability. It increases the readability of the program. What do you mean by readability? For example, if I don't write these comments, I simply write int a and I don't write this comment also, sum is equal to a star b or a plus b. Without these comments, if the programmer is having good knowledge, he can understand what the other person is trying to say. But if the user is not that much aware of the programming language, then he will find difficulty. What is this particular statement? What is this statement is performing? What instruction is giving to the computer? All these confusions will be arising for the end user. End user are the users who are going to use the software. Programmer is different. He is going to program the things. Programmer. So whatever things are written by the programmer, if another programmer or the end user tries to see without any comments, he will get confused, or he will not get any information related to it. He will not get any idea. When the programmer writes the comments for each and every instruction in the program, then the end user or the other programmers who just see the program, they can simply understand what this statement is going to perform by looking at these comments. So that is the reason why the comments are used to increase the readability of the program. It is very much important for a programmer, but most of the cases nobody follows to comment these things or to comment. C programming language supports two types of comments. One is called the single line comment, and the other one is multi-line comment. Single line comment is given by two forward slashes. Multi-line comment is given by one forward slash followed by star, and you can have any number of lines, and it should end with star and forward slash. These are the two types of comments that are supported by the C programming language. What is the use of these comments? Means what happens when the compiler sees these two forward slashes, or if the compiler sees this forward slash and a star followed by star and forward slash, what it will do is the compiler will simply ignore the compilation of this part. So whenever the compiler sees this one, it will simply ignore this part up to that single line. Similarly, when the compiler sees these two forward slashes, it will ignore what is written after it. It is ignored. It is not compiled. As I told that the comments are always used for increasing the readability of the program, but it does not have any influence in the program. It does not affect the performance of the compiler. It does not take the time of the compiler. It does not execute also. That is the reason why these are very much important. So, by looking at this one, this is a single line comment. That means, whenever I want to comment these string literals, this is a single line, right. So, I put 2 forward slashes like this. Then this line will not be compiled by the compiler. Why? Because it is treated as a comment. This is a single line comment. For example, I want to comment all these lines. So, it extends in a multiple lines, line 1, line 2 and line 3. If I want to comment multiple lines, I put a forward slash star and then a star forward slash. So, from here to here everything will be treated as a comment and it is not executed by the compiler. Everything is commented. This is the difference between a single line comment and a multi-line comment. So, these comments also come under this white spaces, and these white spaces are used to separate the adjacent identifiers, keywords and constants. Nothing much important is there with the white spaces except for these comments. So, these are the various tokens that are supported in the C programming language. Let us have a quick recap of what we have discussed in today's session. We started our discussion with the tokens in C programming language. A token is nothing but a small unit of a C program which cannot be further divided, and we have different 5 to 6 types of tokens that are supported in C programming language. One is the keyword. Keyword is nothing but the reserved word which have the predefined meaning, and that meaning cannot be changed by the programmer. C programming language supports 32 keywords. For example, we have int, float, if, else, for, while, struct, etc. And the second token is the identifier. Identifier is nothing but the name given to an array, function or structure or union, anything, any name that you give to any structure or construct that is present inside the C programming language is called as the identifier. While giving the names to functions or arrays, you should be very careful that you should follow some rules. Those are the rules for the identifier, one of the important question here. So, the first rule is the identifier can have letters and digits. It should always start with letter only, it cannot start with digit. No special characters are allowed except underscore. You can start the identifier with the underscore. No keywords are allowed. No, it is case sensitive, and no white spaces are allowed. By following these rules, you can give names to the different constructs in C programming. And the next token that we have studied is the constant. Constants are those values which cannot be changed during the program execution. We have different types of constants such as integral constants, floating point constants, which we have seen some examples also. Similarly, we have character constant. A single character enclosed within single quotations is called as a character constant, and a sequence of characters or a single character that is enclosed within double quotations, we call it as the string constant. And then we have gone through the operators. An operator is nothing but a symbol which is used to perform various operations such as the arithmetic, logical, relational, etc. And the last topic in this token is the white spaces. White spaces can be a space, or it can be a new line character, or it can be a tab, or it can be a comment. And we have ended up our discussion on a small discussion with the comments. Comments are those lines which the compiler will not compile. They are simply ignored by the compiler. So, in C programming language, we have two types of comments. One is the single line comment, and the second one is the double line comment. Single line comment given by 2 forward slashes, multi-line comment is given by 1 forward slash followed by star, and then you have number of lines, and then it will end with a star followed by a forward slash. That's all for today's session. Thank you one and all.